So I thought I would just quick do a video to show a general walk around of the truck and everything that I have done to it, just because a lot of my new subscribers probably haven't seen earlier videos of me working on things, and I don't know, the whole process is a little bit disjointed. So I just thought I would do a general walk around so you can see what the differences are so far. I've done a lot of cleaning on the truck. If you remember when I got it, it had stainless or steel rims, I'm sorry, black steel rims, and I'm in the process of changing that all over. I have my aluminum rims now. You can see the back end is torn apart to get painted, but when this is all put back together, it'll have aluminum all around. I did a lot of polishing. It needed it pretty badly, and this isn't perfect. In fact, it's a long way from perfect. I'm still learning how to run the buffer, but it looks a lot better now. I added the lights under the bumper here. Those are also signals, but they do light up as like running lights. I added the license plate swinger. I got this Detroit license plate. I think it's pretty cool. I changed all 4 mirrors on the truck. I got these new style with the clearance lights in them. So that was more kind of a Canadian thing back in the day, but it's kind of old school cool. So I wasn't aware how easy it was to find them new, but they had them in town here. So I think they look really sharp. Put antennas on and strung new coaxes through the whole cab. That actually wasn't such a big deal. The hardest part was probably figuring out how in the world to do it easily. And I ended up just taping, I taped the ends, or I cut the connectors off for the mirrors, and then I taped the new coax ends to the CB ends of the old coax, and then I just pulled the old coax until the new coax followed it through the headliner, and it comes out here, runs down the A post there, and then it comes up and then through this mirror arm and then up to the coax. So a lot of guys will just do it on one side because it's such a pain to do, but I did both sides and it seems to work great, so I'm happy with that. I used to have work lights back here, but I switched them out for turn signals. And then I added these because I love red lights behind a bunk, but I did not want to cut any holes in the bunk. So I just put these on, which are actually a air cleaner mount. So I turn them. Usually they sit vertical. I just put them horizontal and put them in here, put red lights in, and it works great. We'll just ignore all of this. This will be what the next video is about. It should look very different by the time it's all done. Finally got rid of those horrific plastic fenders. I also repainted this fender. I found paint that's a very close match. It's not an identical match. It's a little bit brighter, but I like it. I wish the whole truck was kind of this color. It has a little more pop to it. And we'll do the inside. Not sure why the clutch cover is lying all the way over here. The interior is where I've done the most stuff. Ripped the floor out, put the new underlay in, put new carpet on. I rebuilt this, the auxiliary shifter that rods under the floor. I spent days rewiring the dash. Got it almost the way I want. Not quite. Nice switch extensions, amber jewels. I found amber jewel dash screws. Apparently they've been discontinued, but I found someone that still had a set in stock. So I'm not entirely sold on those. I do like the original chrome screws, but this is how I'm running now. Although they do come out from vibration, I've noticed I've had to snug them up a few times. So we'll see how that goes. Matching glitter knobs. I added the who makes this again? Roadworks. The 3-piece, the underpiece down here, which is where my footwell lighting is there. I put in that LED and this piece, and then the heater core surround piece there with the louvers in it. It's not a perfect fit, but it looks a lot better. It was starting to get some surface rust in here, so it looks much better having the stainless. I put stainless on the doors as well, and then I tore out the this corner of the bunk, which this speaker I'm in the process of putting back in again. Put new foam behind the upholstery in this whole corner post. Ripped the ceiling liner out of the bunk here, and all new foam in there. Ripped out a pile of mouse nests, and every time I get in here I just look at the back of that bunk and wow, it looks so good. the condition the upholstery was in this truck is actually pretty amazing, and of course, being in the bunk, it doesn't get the UV light or anything like that, and it wasn't really used a lot. No one slept back there very much from the way it looks. It was pretty much untouched. There's a little bit of mouse damage up against on the other side of this wall here, but if you put a mattress in, you won't see that. So that is pretty much perfect. And I put a new CB in, new radio, and the Roadworks chrome center pillar, which I think looks really sharp. So that is where things are. And literally every video I've posted now, people have asked me, what is this lever for? Now, if this was a cat motor, it would probably be for a retarder. But with this one, the fuel shutoff, it is actually air. And some of them would go to an electric powered air switch, so that when you would turn the ignition off, it would send air through the switch to the fuel pump to shut off the engine, right? Kill the fuel supply. But on this truck, the way this is set up, it's a manual hand valve here. So this is not a second brake valve, it's not a retarder valve. You just go like this and it kills the fuel. I do still have a couple plans for the interior. I'm not quite done with it. I would love to get these amber glitter knobs for the air valves. The only thing is I can get these knobs, but they're all thread-on style. And these are all the old pin-on style. And I'm not sure if there's a converter out there that I can just pin on and then screw on a knob, or how I'm gonna do that yet. If anyone knows, or if anyone's done anything like that, or switch the valves over to a thread-on style, if you have to replace the whole valve or just a plunger, I really have no idea. So if anyone does know about that, I'd like to hear about how that's done. The other thing is I want to get a little sticker here to cover up this hole, or a little plaque. And since this is the suspension, it's electronic. It says run, neutral, deflate is what the old sticker said. So I'd like to get one to cover this hole, and that way people know that this is the dump. Because if you didn't know that this switch, it was an electric switch, you know, you'd be looking at here and trying to figure out what in the world do you do. Is this switch hooked up? Do you have the wrong label? You know, so I need the PDO. You can get these old style covers, which I'm gonna get another one to fix that one. I think it's broken. Might replace it and then get one that goes on here. Other than that, like, this dash is in really nice shape. You see so many 359s that have holes drilled in them, or they'll have switches over on the driver's side. That's a pet peeve of mine, guys, is drill holes and put switches over there. I don't get it. I'm like, gauges, switches. But yeah, it's whatever. Also, I need to fix these the valves. The paint on them is pretty poor shape. Little things like that. I have the little purple lights to put in the corners, and I want to move the fan to the center post. It looks kind of funny sitting over here. So, yep, still a lot to do. Twin Sticks, I got to give him a shout out. He gave me the right part number for the washer valve. It's something I needed. I couldn't find it. I talked to Peterbilt, and they weren't getting back to me. I phoned, I emailed, everything. They just said they'll call me back in a few minutes when they find it, and it took weeks and never got called back. Then he messaged me up, said he had just got one. He sent me the part number. I had it in 2 days. You can get these from Napa. I think in one of my other videos, I have the link to the Napa website for this valve, but you can get the air washer valve and the wiper valves through Napa. I forget what the supplier is. I think Haldex or something like that. I'm not sure. But the Peterbilt price was competitive what Napa was going to be, so I just got the Peterbilt one anyway, just because it was easy. But if you can't get access to those, I mean, you can get them at Napa. Just a tip.